Good morning, liberty lovers, freedom fighters, and the idle curious. Welcome to this tour of January 29th, 2013. Please find a seat on the Liberty bus and we will commence our tour. Installer hops locked fence escorted by armed Naperville police. This is a video about the installation of a smart meter being enforced by the police. Interesting video. The single mother with a chronically ill child is forced to watch helplessly as UPA installers hop her locked fence. An armed police escort accompanies the installers. Homeowner is fearful. I had another video queued up of Mother of the Year being tasered. It was a pretty wild video, lots of language, and I decided to leave it out. But it did remind me of something if you happen to see that video, and that is the differences between people. And as I was going for my walk this morning, there's some Section 8 housing near me, and outside was parked a large SUV in a kind of an odd place, and I wondered if the SUV belonged to the owner of the complex. And as I was just thinking that, the question formed in my mind: what is the difference between the owner of the complex and the people who are living in the Section 8 housing? And I turned over that question for a few minutes, and I believe that the difference is their expectations. And it's difficult to change your expectations. You know, it's part of who you are. But the Bible tells us that we are to have a confident expectation of good things. So the very fact that it tells us that implies that we are able to change our expectations. So yeah, let's do that. Let's all change our expectations. Have a confident expectation of good things. I think that might be a definition of faith. Can't remember that verse specifically, but I know it's there. Machine gun fire from military helicopters flying over downtown Miami, Florida. Wow, they are just letting us know, I guess, that they are them in control and we are us. What's our expectation, people? Are we slaves or are we sovereigns? New Obama foreign policy scandal bigger than Benghazi-Gate. This is a question. When everybody talked about the issues about Obama's birth certificate, so on and so forth, and there are a lot of questions there that still haven't been answered. It was easy to put that down to, I guess, from what people have told me, to just sour milk and whatever. These issues are very real issues having to do ultimately with treason. And I'm hoping that these issues won't be ignored in the way that some of the others were. LaRouche PAC Court of Appeal strikes down Obama's violation of constitutional separation of powers. And there's a lot more information here at LaRouchePAC.com. I actually saw it on a different website other than Nasara. This is a very significant issue. All things being equal, if our government was constitutional and functioning the way it ought, these things would be dealt with in very short order. I think that we're going to have to insist that they are dealt with, and I don't think the mainstream media is likely to give us a whole lot of help. Here's a little bit of good news. Farmers begin planting hemp under new Colorado hemp legalization. The article actually says that the feds are saying that they are going to go after these people, but these farmers are planting 100 acres of hemp to be harvested and sold off as not only building material, but a highly nutritious superfood. Honestly, hemp is, whether you believe in using the aspects of it, the THC, for relaxation, whatever, the plant itself is remarkable. The list of products that can come from it is long and significant, and wow, the environment would certainly be helped if this plant were in wider use in the U.S., and so would the U.S. economy. Natural News tells us that vitamin D treats and reverses breast cancer, according to new science. Vitamin D is amazing. It helps with resisting all kinds of infections. It helps strengthen your bones. And one of the most amazing things about vitamin D is actually something amazing about your body. Your body makes vitamin D when you spend time in the sun. So if it's at all possible, make a regular practice of spending some time in the sun. If it's not possible, then find yourself a good vitamin D3 supplement. In the original post, I tried to find the link to this video, and it said this video no longer available. I'm guessing it is a pretty significant video. Irish town resists bailout conditions. They are not going to go along with the conditions offered for a bailout for the banks. And to lend even some deeper context to this, Iceland shows how it's done. Iceland's president schools the financial media. Iceland has resisted banker bailouts. Iceland president: why, when banks fail, should taxpayers pay the price? And Iceland has this right. If you follow the Fed and resistance to the Fed and alternatives to what's going on in this country financially, you no doubt are familiar with Iceland and their ability to resist the international bankers. They are insisting that their country is their own, and a while ago they had bankers arrested. So if they can do it, we should be able to do it. Thank you for hopping aboard the Liberty Bus and participating in this tour. The tour was organized by She Who Will Walk in the Dark. And She Who Will Walk in the Dark might not have to walk in the dark a whole lot longer, because the dawn is coming. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Take care, insist on liberty, and love one another.